Hi, this is Katie from Katie Creations. Today we'll be doing a tutorial for the color change with Celtic Weave. So we get this nice pretty color change here. This is the actual piece that we'll be working up. Get the nice pretty color change, and the back is nice. We don't have all these loops like we do with these two pieces. So this is what our back will look like, not like this. So let's go ahead and get started. This is not intended to be a tutorial for someone who is learning how to do Celtic Weave. I would recommend that you have an understanding on how the stitches worked before you start working this. You might be a little confused. Okay, let's zoom in just a little bit here. Okay. Alright, I think we're ready to go. Okay, so I started with a chain 8 plus 3, and I did my standing double crochet, and I worked my 8, or my, I guess my 8 post stitches across. And whenever you do your post stitch changes for your color change for your first row, it's worked exactly the same way that it would for any other color change. The difficulty doesn't start until the following row. So let's go ahead and turn. And we'll do, whether you do your chain 3 or if you like to do the standing double crochet for your first stitch. And then we're going to work blue post stitches first. If I can remember to do a post stitch. And you go ahead and do your second blue post stitch. Okay, whenever you have just 2 loops left on your hook, we're going to change over to our new color. Okay, so yarn over and pull the new color through your last 2 on your last pull through. Okay, so yarn over twice, and we're going to work through this triangle space right here, which will end up kind of locking the loop on the hook, and it won't just, if you just work the regular post stitch right here, this loop would just be hanging here. So by wrapping it kind of around your hook, almost causing 4 loops on the hook again, it'll help lock it in whenever you work it, whenever you work the post stitch. So go ahead and pull up your loop through your post stitch, and as you do so, pull through that extra loop that we had on our hook. If you don't pull it through that loop, you will have 5 loops on your hook right now. But as we have 4, you can see that we did go through that loop. So go ahead and work the rest of the post stitch and work the next one. And on this last set of stitches, we're going to change colors back to green. So go ahead and yarn over and pull through those last 2. And see, right here we've got this loop. We're going to lock this loop into our post stitch on this next one. So we're going to yarn over twice, and you're going to insert your hook in this hole, go around the back of this loop, and you're going to come back out with your hook through this hole, and then pick up your post stitch. So this is what it looks like. You come in through your hole, you go around the back, kind of gets all messed up, but you can see here I've went through that one hole, around the back of the loop, out the second hole. So now again I have 4 loops on my hook. So whenever we yarn over and do the post stitch, I want to make sure that whenever I pull up my loop around the post stitch, that I also pull it through this loop here. So yarn over, pull through. See, I went through that loop also, so now I only have 4 loops on my hook, not 5. And finish off the post stitch and do your second green post stitch. And we're going to change colors back here, back to the blue. So drop the green, pull the blue over, yarn over twice, and do your next post stitch, and then we're going to finish off this row with the double crochet in that first, or in the last stitch. You're going to do your double crochet in the top of it, just like you normally would. Okay, and turn. All right, so go ahead and do your first stitch here. As we get up here, we're going to see that we're going to change over to green for right off the bat. So yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to come in around the back through this triangle space that is created with the yarn. So from left to right, and then you're going to go from right to left, yarn over, pull through your post stitch, and then pull through that extra wraparound that you did through that triangle space. So you only have 4 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and yarn over and finish off the stitch and work your second post stitch. We're going to change back to blue at this point. Okay, and then we're going to come over here and do these 2 post stitches. And on this post stitch, we're going to change to that salmon color. So we're going to stop, drop the blue, pick up our salmon color, pull through 2, and we've got this loop hanging here in the back, so we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to go in this hole, around the back of this loop, and out this hole to work our post stitch. Okay, so in this space, around the back of that loop, out, and then we're going to work our post stitch. Make sure whenever you pull up your loop from around your post stitch that you also go through this loop also, so that way you only have your 4 loops on your hook like you're supposed to. So there and there. Get your 4 loops on your hook. And go ahead and finish off. Okay, and see here's that extra loop that I was talking about. We're going to yarn over. There, now see, you can't even tell that it was there. And we're going to go ahead and change back to our blue on this stitch. Yarn over, and we're going to work our double crochet. And there we go. You can see the back. All the extra little loops have been tucked in, not just hanging there. So let's go ahead and we'll do a couple more rows. Okay, and our first stitches are the salmon color, so we're going to change to salmon here. Okay, I'm going to yarn over twice. I'm going to go through that space right there. I'm going to go around post stitch and pull through both of those loops there. We have 4 loops on our hook. Okay, and here we're going to change to our blue. Put those loops out of the way. I don't think I got around the post on that one. And there we go. Okay, now we're going to come back over and we're going to work those 2 post stitches. If I can work it through there. There we go. Okay, and then here we're going to change back to the green, this last stitch here. Apologize for that loud breathing sound. We have a dog who thinks he has to breathe loudly, and he's very much a mama's boy, so he is sitting here right next to me. So we've yarned over twice, and we're going to go through the space here, and then pull up our loop around our post stitch, and make sure you go through that extra loop that you pulled on your hook, or you wrapped around your hook, so you have your 4 stitches, or your 4 loops on your hook. Okay, and here we're going to change back to blue. And work the double crochet in our last stitch. How is yours looking? Hopefully it's looking good. Hopefully you're happy with the progress you're making. So go ahead and do your next stitch here. And the first stitch we're going to be working is blue, so I'll go ahead and finish that beginning stitch. Okay, and on this we're going to change to our green. Okay, so we've got that loop through the back. Do you remember what we do? We yarn over twice, then we go through this hole, and we come back out this hole. In, out. In and out. Wrap it around the post stitch. Pull through that extra loop. We have our 4 loops on our hook. Work that second stitch. And here we're going to change over to coral. Okay, so we're going to yarn over twice. Going to go from left to right around the back of that loop. There we go. 4 loops on our hook. We're going to change back over to our blue. We're going to cross over, we're going to work in these stitches. Right there. Going to do our last stitch in the double crochet. Go lay down. Go lay down. There's the next row. Here's the back. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more row. Okay, so we insert our hook. Hopefully by now you've gotten a really good hang of it and you're feeling really comfortable with how it has worked. And if you find that you're wrapping it one way and you're not liking the way it looks, try wrapping your hook around the other way. It you might prefer the way it looks going the other way. I just found that wrapping it the way I suggested to do it worked better for me, and hopefully it does for you also. My yarn's starting to get tangled up here. So, okay, so we yarn over. Going to yarn over twice, and we work through that triangle space right there. Yarn over. Alright, and we're going to now change over to our salmon color. Okay, salmon color. Alright, remember we're going to come in this hole, go back out this hole. Hopefully you're getting it. I've kind of stopped doing the talking part. My first tutorial, I'm still kind of trying to get comfortable on how things are done and not talking too much. Oh, I finished that stitch off. We need to change colors in that last pull through. Okay, we're changing colors back over to blue. Okay, we're going to cross over and work here. If I can find it. It's blue post. I can see it on the back if I can find it though. There we go. And hopefully the project you're working on, you're not having this many color changes this close together. It makes it a little bit more difficult than if you just have one or two throughout a larger project. Okay, we're going to do our double crochet. It looks like I could have maybe wrapped around there, but it's not hanging too loose. It is tied in up top. But if you don't like how that's hanging there, you can always try to tie it in a little bit more. I found that whenever I would try to tie it in a little bit more, it'd kind of cause it to pull up higher on the side, where if I just kind of left it hang, it seemed to lay a little bit better. So that's why why I don't mess with it. And it is still tied in, it's not completely hanging loose. See there, it's because I messed with it, but it's laying a little bit nicer. So then we'll come back around and we'll do our last double crochet. And there we go. You can keep working your way up if you want to for more practice. You can restart the video if you'd like to. you're wanting to see another row, let's go ahead and just do one more row. I'm having fun. I'm finally getting the hang of it. So while my kids are preoccupied, okay, we're going to change over to salmon right off the bat. Okay, change back over to blue. Over here, we'll do our blue post stitches over here. And change to green. Find our green back there, pull it up. Okay, remember we're going to wrap around, going to go in and out, and we're going to grab around the back of that loop. So in and out. We're going to do our post stitch, yarn over, pull through that extra loop. We only have 4 loops on our hook. One more post stitch. And we're going to change to green. Or I'm sorry, we're going to change to blue. Right over. And there we have it. Here's your color change. Let's see, we'll zoom out here. There we go. Hopefully you are happy with the way yours is looking. So thank you for visiting Katie Creations and watching this tutorial, and come back often and check for new tutorials.